Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sounds real dramatic, like something's coming. Got that real intro type vibe to it. Yeah, enough of the smoke. It's bad boy, baby.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They go by the name of Q, Mike, Slim, Deron. And this is part 3. You know, like the third album. Like the third time we've been here. Like part 3. You know, yeah, they represent the ATF. Come on.
Just a little 12 is all you need. Just a little 12 is all you need. Just a little 12 is all you need. Alright, just a little 12 is all you need.
Let's do it. What's up, everybody? My name is Nass. For those of you that may know me, I am a NBA writer for NGSC Sports. This right here is, you're gonna call it a pilot, debut, numero uno, whatever you wanna call it. This is like my, I don't even know what I'm saying. This is my podcast.
Parlay new shit. Yes, sir.
Mostly, you know, about like the NBA and whatnot. You know, for, like I said, for those of you that know me, or those of you that see my articles and stuff, you know, that's what I do. I cover the association. You know, all sorts of trending news, topics, players, teams, you know, all that jazz. You know, stuff that I like to cover. A lot of stuff that isn't really under the national coverage scope. Things that maybe corporations like ESPN or Fox Sports won't tell you every day. That's where I get the most joy. I like finding things that no one's really talking about or no one's really paying attention to. I just like to just keep it on the hush and then, you know, bring it to light. But anyways, yeah, like I said, this is my podcast, first episode. It's crazy because every day I wake up, I've been thinking, man, like I should be doing this, because I've been listening to podcasts for years, like years. It's part of the reason why not part of the reason why I do what I do, but it's a pretty big part of it. You know, growing up, I was listening to a lot of Bill Simmons, a lot of Colin Cowherd, obviously First Take, obviously, you know, Stephen A. Skip, a lot of Nick Wright, who else? A lot of guys. There's a lot of guys in the industry, so obviously I want to, you know, shout all of them out because there's been a lot of early mornings where I'm just, you know, kind of glued to the TV screen, 7, 8 in the morning, just, you know, trying to see what the top dogs are talking about. They're talking about what they're saying. It's almost like kind of like a healthy practice for me because I have my own way that I articulate about the game and think about the game and whatnot. So it's good. It's good for me mentally as a sports journalist to, you know, kind of see where everyone's kind of thinking. It's healthy for me because I have my own views of the game and I can kind of, make comparisons, contrast things, kind of just pinpoint stuff and, you know, just kind of come with my own kind of fabric when it comes to, you know, being a journalist. So that's that. Enough about that, but like I said, this is my first episode. I'm really excited. This is actually a dream that I had shared with 3 of my brothers. Not my, biological. For those of you that really know me, I have one biological brother, Elijah. But my 3 brothers, Adrian, Kester, and Chase, they're all brothers. My brothers, man, we've been talking basketball. We've been talking sports. I mean, we all kind of share the same passion, basketball and whatnot. But we've been talking about the NBA. I don't even know for how many years. It's definitely been over a decade. There's numerous times I would get a call. Like, I remember my freshman year at Merrimack, I got a call from one of them, and they were like, blah 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 blah. Can you believe this? He said this. I believe this. I believe that. And then before you know it, I'm on a group call with all of them. Now we're all chit chatting for hours. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about sports, NBA, just stuff that we love. We're just a bunch of fanboys at the end of the day. But that's a little backstory on them. This is something that they would definitely be on. I just kind of had to kick it off because this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? I cover the NBA. I'll talk to anyone about hoop. I'll talk to a janitor about hoop. I'll talk to a lunch lady, a politician. I'll be at the grocery store and talk about hoop. I don't really care. Like, that's just how deep it is to me. I mean, my pops was a big Jordan fan, big Pippen fan. He was watching all those Bulls teams, in the '90s. My mom ended up being a pretty big Jordan fan herself. I came in and just kind of kept going. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. This is the first episode. I hope you guys are excited. I just keep kind of dazing off because I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm just like a YouTube head, just like any other person. I subscribe to a ton of people. I'm on YouTube every day watching something, whether it's highlights or a video. YouTube's really like my TV. So it's crazy to see how far it's come. YouTube used to just be a place where people used to go and just watch music videos and stuff, and I was doing that too. Whenever 106 in Park, when that ended, and then entering my teen years, just on YouTube, just looking up stuff, converting music videos to my iPod. So YouTube's just been it's been a beautiful platform. It's been a pretty big staple in my life, and obviously like a lot of people's lives. But with all that being said, like I said for the millionth time, first episode, and today's discussion, we're going to talk about the NBA All-Star rosters, Western Conference, Eastern Conference, kind of dive into players and whatnot, who should have made what, who should start, typical All-Star buzz. So to kick that off, I'm just going to name some quick hitters, kind of obvious ones that are going to make the team. So on my list, for the Eastern Conference, I have Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Darius Garland, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Giannis, Jimmy Butler, Trae Young, James Harden, Bradley Beal, and Frank VanVleet. Oh, let me double check.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140.
Wait a minute, that's $100. Stop playing with me, Smoke.
I had to double check to make sure I got 12 players, because sometimes you make a list, you don't even know how many players you have. But nah, so that's 12. I'll go again and just kind of name why I had each guy on there. I keep patting my head. My do-rag is just it's mad itchy. It's just pains. But Zach LaVine, I feel like this was kind of just an easy lock. He's having another tremendous year. I know he just got dinged up with his an MCL. Was it a sprain? I think something like that. But there wasn't a lot of damage, and he's supposed to be just fine. So I had Zach LaVine, easy choice, first-time Olympian. He got his gold medal. He was showcasing a lot of stuff in the Olympics that he hasn't been able to showcase in Chicago just because he's been the guy in Chicago the past how many years, and they've asked him to kind of, just score the ball, just be the engine of offense. So it was cool to see him, kind of in another role. Obviously, the Olympics, you're playing with the best players on the planet, but at the end of the day, him being able to, play defense and be able to be effective off the ball, not as much on the ball, obviously, as he would with Chicago. It was good to see him, and he was a guy that deserved it. I mean, this was a guy that was seen as like the third wheel, back when he was in Minnesota with Towns and Wiggins. So it's been good to watch him grow into the all-star caliber player he is. DeMar DeRozan, backcourt mate, had to have him there on the team. He's had an amazing year, MVP type year, um, killing in the mid range. One of the NBA's like all-time best mid range. Like his footwork, his approach to the game, at least on that side of the floor, is pretty special. He can basically create a shot from anywhere. He's shooting threes now and he's hitting them. So DeMar DeRozan, easy lock. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, two of my guys. I know, us Celtics fans, it's been an up and down year. We're not gonna get into all that. I've done enough spiels and just lectures, and I've vented about the Celtics a lot. I've vented about them a lot. So, Jaylen Brown, just Tatum, those are two easy locks. Despite the year the Celtics are having, and I think we're like 11th in the East. They're just easy locks. Jaylen Brown and Tatum, two of like the top 8, top 7 in the NBA in scoring. They're both at like 24, 25 a game. Tatum might be at like 26. I'm not sure, but it's just bad luck. Hopefully they get it going. Tatum and Brown. I don't know how many combined games they've played this year, but it has to be like not a lot, because Jalen has been dinged up a lot this year. Then he came back, and then Tatum got COVID again. So it's been an up and down ride. But they're obviously on the team. Joel Embiid, shout out Joel Embiid. He's just been a force. I know he just had a 50 nugget like a couple nights ago. He's been going crazy. He has to be in the MVP discussion this year. He's just been a force. What he's been doing for Philly has just been amazing. I don't even have wood here. I don't need him to get hurt. I don't need him to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? I know that's been the big deal with Joel. Is people. I shouldn't say people. He's a bit fragile, but he's 7'2". He's 7'2", like what, 280? Like it's not easy to just exert all that weight and mass on your knees repeatedly up and down the floor. Like 7-foot players aren't really supposed to be playing basketball at that high of a level. It's not normal for people that size to be running up and down and jumping and stuff. But anyway, he's having a crazy year this year, so I had to put him on the team. Giannis, Greek freak, reigning champ, reigning MVP, reigning Finals MVP, all that. It's becoming regular what he does. People just expect him to put up 30, 10, and 6 now, and a steal in a block, or 2 steals, 2 blocks. People just expect that now, and they expect to win. That's just the bar that he's set for himself and just the organization. But he's been amazing. So he made the team. I granted Jimmy Butler a spot because despite the games he's missed, the Heat have been amazing this year. I think they're like a top 4 team in the conference. Jimmy is one of the best all-around players in the league, and I know when people say all-around, like they like to think like points, rebounds, assists, but that's just offense. Like when you say all-around, talking about all facets of the game. Someone that's gonna score, someone that's gonna go try and get a board, someone's gonna defend the best player in crunch time. That's gonna get a stop, not even just defend, get a stop. He'll get dirty. He'll do whatever it takes. That's like truly the epitome of what an all-around NBA player is, and it's Jimmy. Just a good and grind kid. I'm calling him a kid, but he's a grown-ass man. He should be calling me a kid. Anyways, so I put Jimmy on there. Trae Young, I thought that was also an easy lock. His production is crazy, even though the Hawks are just kind of having an iffy year. But they still have some things to figure out personnel-wise. But I had to put him on the team. He's one of the best dual-threat point guards in the league. He's literally a walking 25 and 10. His 3-ball is, obviously his 3-ball. One of the best pick-and-roll maestros in the league. Floater game is wild. He's just so talented. Trae Young's just so talented. Next, I have James Harden. James Harden has to make this team. I'm sorry. He just has to, because it's James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do? It's the beard. Like, you have to have him on the team. I know that he's had to adjust. Obviously with Kyrie was out, so he had to take on more of a burden and ball handling again, which he's used to. It looks like I'm not gonna say he's out of shape because I'm not with him every day. I can't speak on his physique. I'm not his trainer. I can't just say that. I'm not like the other guys on TV that are just gonna tell you, oh yeah, he's out of shape. I mean, if he looks like he's playing out of shape, then okay, maybe you can make that call. But like, he went to training camp. Obviously he looks a little bigger. I mean, it's not rocket science to even figure that out. He looks a little bit buffer, but he has to be on the team. I know the refs have been cracking down on foul calls and whatnot, but it's James Harden. He just had like 30. I think tonight he had like 37, 13, 12 or something like that. KD's out, and he's just, he's a Hall of Famer, so he has to be on the team. My last two spots, I give to Bradley Beal, and Frank Van Vliet. Bradley Beal is tricky. Not tricky for me. He would have made my team regardless. I mean, this dude's averaged 30 the past 2 years. I don't know how many guys have the past 2 years averaged 30 and more. And I didn't forget about those of you that kept him off the All-Star team 2022, I think it was 2020. 2020, he averaged like 30 a night. The year before Russ came to Washington, he was alone. Washington obviously sucked, but I mean, it was him. It was only him. What you want him to do? But he still put up 30 and didn't make an All-Star team or an All-NBA. I don't even know, like, and I don't mean to go on a spiel, but it's crazy because, like, in the history of the game, we're gonna look back at, when you go on Basketball Reference or ESPN or whatever, and they show you like each player's accolades and whatnot. It's crazy that we're gonna look back at Beal and he's gonna, you know what I mean? He's gonna miss a couple because his team was bad. Like, that doesn't make any sense. This dude averaged 30 a night at the highest level of the sport in the whole entire world, and he put up 30. So, anyways, I don't know. That was crazy, but he made my team. Washington, it's been a work in progress, obviously, just because they got Kuzma, they got Caldwell Pope, they made that big Russ trade, they brought them in. So now Beal just kind of got acclimated with Russ. Now he's gonna get acclimated with not just sharing the ball with Russ, but now really spreading the wealth around. But he's averaging like 24, 5, and 6. Still efficient from the floor. I know he's had some tough games this year. Washington's not really winning a lot of games either. But this is the guy that made the Olympic team. I don't know where he made All-NBA last year. If I was to guess, I think he made All-NBA 13. Third or second, which is also crazy. How you average 31 in the league, you don't make All-NBA first or second team. I think that's just mind-boggling. But no, Brad Beal put on there, and then my last, I had Frank Van Vliet. Frank Van Vliet has actually been. Well, actually, let me get this. Let me start with this. I have Frank Van Vliet. The last spot I had this between Frank Van Vliet, LaMelo, and Bam Adebayo. Bam didn't play enough games, so I couldn't really give it to him. I wanted to, just because of what he does 2 ways on both sides of the court. I was gonna give it to him, but he didn't play enough games, so obviously I couldn't do that. I couldn't make much of a case for him. And then Frank Van Vliet and what did I just say? LaMelo. LaMelo Ball is the future of the NBA. We all know that. It makes like so much sense for the NBA to put him in the All-Star game, or to make it a point to put him in, just because of the fact that it's LaMelo Ball. He just has this flair, this swag, this aura. It's like kind of similar to when and I hate to say this because they're both like, I don't even go along with it, but it's similar to like when OBJ came into the league, or in the NFL, to make a comparison. He came into the NFL, he had this flair, this swag, this aura, this, he had this, I don't even know what to call it, but he had it that he would bring with him onto the field and perform every Sunday. LaMelo, I'm not saying he's at where Odell's level was, because Odell was, crazy those first couple years, so he definitely deserved that recognition, but something about being the bright lights and LaMelo Ball being a ball, and him being one of his 3 brothers, Chino Hills and LeVar Ball, and the whole thing, the triple Bs and Puma, and now he has his signature shoe out. It feels a lot like that. It feels a lot like I shouldn't even say Odell. It feels a lot like when Kyrie came into the league. When Kyrie came into the league, he brought all this swag and the layups and the jelly and the finishing, and he just brought this dynamic, like, I don't even know what to even call it, but he had it. Let's just call it it. He brought it when he came into the league. So, and he was putting up numbers. The Cavs stunk, but he still put up numbers, and he ended up in the All-Star game. So I think, back to what I was saying about LaMelo. LaMelo brings that to the table. The only downfall about it is that he has two players on his team that are actually hooping, and they're winning games. First off, Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges, realistically, he should be on this team if LaMelo's named his team. I don't think it would be fair to put LaMelo on this team and not Miles Bridges. I just think Miles Bridges has just been a smidge better. He's been I won't say he's been more important to them, but he's been a vital piece of their success. I mean, he's averaging like 20 a night. He's having a career year. There's no way I could say that LaMelo's having a better year than him, is basically what I'm trying to say. So I would have for the reason why I kept LaMelo off, is because I don't think it would have been fair for Bridges. Also, shout out Terry Rozier. Former Celtic. Obviously, he knows I got love for him. My boy Terry. And he's hooping too. He's averaging like 18, 19 a game. So, everyone's kind of bringing their plate to the table. Gordon Hayward too. They're just kind of doing their thing, really. So that's that. I had some thoughts on Domantas Sabonis. I actually think Sabonis I feel like he's basically been like this Indiana Pacers whole team this year. I mean, I don't know. Indiana's been a mess, but he seems to be the most consistent player. So I thought he should get some love. Obviously, he didn't make my team, but I thought he should have got some love, some votes. Bam definitely would have been on this team if he had played a lot more games. But yeah, so that's my Eastern Conference team. Zach LaVine, DeRozan. Oh my God. I didn't even talk about Darius Garland, and that was actually the most exciting part that I had for this this Eastern Conference segment. I keep touching the back of my head. I'm sorry, I look crazy, but it's a do-rag, man. I don't want to take it off either. I don't think the crowd's ready for that. I haven't had a cut in a week, so let me chill. But yeah, Darius Garland made my All-Star team. The Cavs, amazing story. They've been this year. They're, I think, top 4. I think they're 4th in the East. What's crazy is Con Sexton was having an All-Star year last year. I think he was averaging 24 a game. The East is loaded with stars, so it's going to be hard for a guy like him to make it, especially when the Cavs weren't winning games. But it's crazy because now he went down. Sexton went down with, I believe he tore his ACL. Right? I think something in his knee. I think he tore his ACL, if I'm not mistaken. They go out for the year. He's out for the year. And I don't want people... It's not as parallel because this Cavs team is not the same as the Cavs team last year. Jared Allen has stepped up this year. Mobley is arguably the rookie of the year. He's shown, a lot of people saying he brings a lot of Kevin Garnett to the table, and I see it 100%. And Darius Garland, he's been the orchestrator of it all. He's been the floor general. He's been the quarterback. He's scary good. He's really scary good. He's so shifty. Despite his size, he's so shifty. He has a surplus of hesitations and, misdirection dribbles and crossovers and all this type of stuff. And he has amazing vision. He's a willing passer. His numbers aren't that mind-boggling, but they're very efficient. He's averaging 18 a night, 9 assists. His 3 balls good. It's above 35%. I think he's shooting at 37% from 3. Hits his free throws. He's just the epitome of what you'd want from your modern day NBA point guard, playmaker, initiator, creator, whatever you want to call it. But at that position, that's a guy like Garland is who you want. The only thing you can throw on him, if you really wanted to maximize, if you're just building a player and you had Garland as your build. Like that's who you're starting as. All you would do to him is probably make him taller and make him a little bit more athletic, and that's pretty much it. Maybe extend his wingspan, but other than that, he checks off all the boxes. He's gonna be a cornerstone for that franchise going forward, without a doubt. So obviously, shout out to Cavs, having a great year. In the NBA, we needed a team like them because the stars getting together and it was starting to become too much. Now Russ went to LA, and now we have another super team there. We just had Washington we just had Westbrook with Beal. No one said they were gonna win a championship, but that's still a competitive team. Those are two stars on the same team. So we needed a year like this where a team like the Cavs come out and they play hard and they play well. So yeah, but like I said, those are my Eastern Conference All-Stars. I'll run through them one more time, for those really paying attention to stuff. But Levine, DeRozan, Darius Garland, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Embiid, Giannis, Jimmy, Trae Young, James Harden, Bradley Beal, and Frank Van Vliet. So yeah, y'all stay tuned. 2-minute break. Come back with part 2. What's the Conference All-Stars?
I'll be sure. Hey, good to see you, man. Hey, y'all need to work on that track. All right, let's do it. Well, 8:30, I gotta see a different world. I'm sorry. Yeah, man, I love that show. Hey, okay. What? Don't you meet a couple close personal friends of mine? Quincy Jones, I'll be sure, Kadeem Hines. This dude knows everybody.
Part 2. West All-Stars. I'm still here. I know you thought I wasn't gonna come off your screen, but I'm still here. I'm still here. So Western Conference All-Stars. This was a little bit easier. To keep it a buck with you. So I'll just go again real quick. So I had Steph, LeBron, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, Nikola Jokic, John Morant, Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns, DeJounte Murray, and Anthony Davis. So this gets a little tricky. Paul George, I actually had on my team. I had him before DeJounte Murray, but he's obviously hurt. So really, I think I'm basically saying that DeJounte Murray is going to be his replacement. I know in my Eastern Conference one, I didn't even really, I didn't address it. But Darius Garland, I had as Kevin Durant's replacement. So basically same thing in the West. Paul George, he's probably not going to play. Even if I think because he got extended rest. I guess the Clippers extended his rest to see how his elbow is. Obviously they're gonna play. They're gonna be cautious with Kawhi out there. Paul George is also on the other side of 30. They don't want to do anything crazy to him, especially no flexibility right now with trade assets and pieces and whatnot. But I had DeJounte Murray basically be his replacement. So really with the West, a lot of these were really easy. I mean, Steph Curry, he's kind of cooled off lately. He just hit a game winner tonight. Obviously as I say that, but he's cooled off recently. But he's been in the MVP talks all year. He has to make the team. The Warriors, number 1 in the West. Yeah, they have to be. He has to be on that team. Obviously, has to be in MVP discussions. So that was pretty easy. LeBron's LeBron. My dog's right here next to me. He's making a shot. I put him on the team. Don't worry. But yeah, now LeBron had to make the team. The Lakers are kind of a shit show. Shout out all my Russ fans, man. We gotta stay together. It's been a tough transition. People think Westbrook is 25. You know what I'm saying? People act like he just started turning the ball over. Just started doing boneheaded plays. Like, man, that's just what comes with the roller coaster ride that the Russell Westbrook experience brings. You know, it's gonna be ups and downs. There's gonna be a lot of game winners. There's gonna be some turnovers. There's gonna be some yelling. There's gonna be some technicals. That's just part of the Russell Westbrook experience. You know what I mean? So, but nah, shout out my guy Russ. You know, I wish I could put him on the team. I really badly wanted to put him on the team. I really wanted to. But back to LeBron. Sorry, LeBron. You can tell, like, you know, Russ is my guy because that one really hit the soul that he's not gonna make the team again this year. So it's alright, you know. LeBron has to make the team. He's playing like the best player in the world. You know, I can't say he's not. He's definitely playing like it. He just continues to just amaze me with his father time stuff. Like he doesn't stop. He just doesn't stop. I don't know. Like, he's balding right now. He's literally like his hair's falling out, and he just continues to do what he's doing. So, you know, LeBron's an easy pick. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, you know, fresh out of finals appearance last year. Devin Booker's having another great year. I'm used to it by now. I was trying to tell people like 3 years ago, this dude's like, he's all-star written all over. Even before that, I mean, he's been like 25 a game for the past like 6 years. But like, you know, he doesn't know how to win games, so, you know, that's why he's only getting the love yet. But I mean, what do you expect a guy like Booker to do when you have like 5 head coaches in 5 years? He had, maybe he didn't have 5, but he definitely had like at least 3. But now, shout out to Book. You know what I'm saying? He just keeps maximizing his opportunities and his ceiling, and he looks great. A 3-ball looks great too. The crazy part is that I give him like Reggie Miller type shooting respect, but the numbers don't show that he shoots like Reggie Miller, if that makes sense. But that's the fear that he puts in your heart. Like when he has the ball in his hand beyond the 3-point line, like, you know, you gotta get a hand up because, you know, he has range. But he's not just a shooter; he's a scorer. He's a 3-level scorer. Score in the post, score off the pick and roll, shoot off of either shoulder. He'll attack the rack. He's not afraid of the rim either. He has great pace. He has like James Harden type pace. You can never rush Booker into something that he's not ready to do on the court. You can never. As a defender, I haven't seen it. He just he plays at his own pace, and he just dictates the game. Just, you know, wonderful on offense. So I had him on the team. Chris Paul, point guard, just like LeBron, all the time. Just keeps extending it. So, you know, shout out to him for sure. I had him on the team. Booker was out for some time. A couple weeks ago, I think it was his. What did he hurt? Booker hurt something very, very minor, and he was out for like another week. But the Suns kept winning games, so I mean, I don't know. It's not like Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges are over there like initiating offense. I mean, they're solid players, but I mean, it's just crazy what Chris Paul's been able to do with just another roster, despite, you know, his star player being out. So I had to put Chris Paul in there. Next couple, I had Luka, Donovan Mitchell, 2 guards. You know, they just continue to just give us highlights and give us all this great level of basketball. Luka Doncic, it's crazy because we're just used to just watching him put up 38 and 8 every game. Like, he's just like, it's almost like we're getting tired of his triple doubles like we did with Russ. But it's so bad because Luka's 22. Like, he just became a legal drinker. Like, it's crazy. But nah, the Mavericks and the Jazz, they've been. Well, I'll start with. Let me finish with Luka. Actually, the Mavericks have been amazing on defense the past like month. They're one of the best teams on defense. And Luka, and the shocking part is that they're still maintaining this level of play, and Luka has missed like a decent chunk of games this year. He's had like everything lower body. There was a rumor that he didn't come into the year. There's a rumor he didn't come into the year in shape. Like, I can't confirm that for you. I mean, it's not like his body. He does not. He looked sluggish. I think people just have this such high level for, you know, professional athletes, which I mean, yeah, you should. They're professional athletes. Their job is to just take care of their body and work at their craft and improve at their craft. That's their job. But, you know, Luka's a 22-year-old kid. You just think about what were you doing at 22? You weren't, you know, counting calories and, like, no, you were doing what normal 22-year-olds would do. You go out, you drink, you hang with friends, you eat bad, you know, you're just doing 22-year-old things. You're young, you're full of energy. You just, you know, you just wanna do whatever. Obviously for Luka, his life at 22 is a little bit different than most of us, but I mean, sometimes it's more than just, you know, it's more than just being a professional. Sometimes it takes some experience. Maybe he'll come along and he'll be like, okay, maybe I can't have a pizza at, you know, 2 a.m. on a Monday night, the night before the game. You know, but he'll realize that. So now, shout out to Luka, obviously, put him on the team. Donovan Mitchell, another guy who's just been, he's trying to really rack up these All-Star nods. I don't even know which one it is for him. I think it's his third, maybe his fourth. No, it has to be his second or third, actually. I'm going to say his third. But D-Mitch, he's been great for Utah all year. Utah, another top 5 Western Conference team. Mitch is a playoff killer. People don't even give him his flowers for that, but he's a playoff killer. What he's done to OKC against Russ and PG. What he did to, who did he face? I think the year after that, he faced, was it the Clippers? No, not the Clippers. He played them too. But the series I was thinking about was who did Donovan Mitchell face? Oh, the Denver Nuggets. He had a crazy Denver Nuggets series in the bubble. That was one of like the best playoff series I've watched an individual play. Just period. Just one stretch of basketball against one team. It was up there. He was really hooping. But he's a star. You know, he had to make the team. Best player on the team. Top 5 in the West. Nikola Jokic. For me personally, second in the MVP race behind Durant, but Durant's out now, so that race is gonna change. So it's probably between like Jokic, maybe get some John Morant stock, MVP stock in there, some Steph stock. But I had to have Jokic in there. He's been playing like an MVP all year. One of the best players in the league. He's been showcasing it on defense too. He has like 3 or 4. He's like 3-4 game-saving blocks. That's like not what he's known for. But yeah, I had to have my team. John Morant, another MVP candidate, easy pick. The Grizzlies have been just like the Cavs, you know, a team that had a bunch of homegrown prospects that they brought into the organization, built them up, evolved them, helped develop them. And now the team is, you know, kind of they're showing us, you know, signs of being a real, you know, formidable team in the Western Conference. Just like the Cavs, same way. They got, you know, a couple players that'll play both ways. You know, Jaren Jackson, Dylan Brooks. They've been amazing for Ja, even though Brooks has been, you know, he's been dinged up. I know that. Desmond Bane has been basically the perfect addition to that team, stretching the floor out. It definitely just makes the game a lot more easier for him. So now the Grizzlies got something. They got something really brewing down there. So yeah, Ja on the team. Rudy Gobert, one of the best defensive players in the league. I had to throw him on the team. His impact on the floor can never just be measured through stats, because when he's on the floor, offenses just have to find basically an alternative offense, because whatever you planned, it's really not going to work a lot against Utah. Their defense is just, it's different, especially attacking the rim. Like, Rudy Gobert makes you not want to go into the paint. That's his job. Block shots, clean the glass, and he makes sure that you doesn't matter whether you're a perimeter player, a front court player, doesn't matter. He makes sure that you are not effective in the paint. That is his job, and he's the best at it right now. So, I mean, for me personally, I don't think he's been the defensive players of the years. I feel like should be more rewarding to those who defend multiple positions, like a guy like a Draymond Green, who, you know, he has one. A guy like Paul George, a guy like Giannis, a guy like Matisse Thybulle, Kawhi, guys like that. Not saying those guys should have won it last year or whatever, but I'm saying guys like that are very versatile that can defend at a high level, multiple positions, especially a guy like Thybulle, like or Ben Simmons. I didn't say Ben Simmons. I should have Ben Simmons. Guys who can guard 1 through 4, 1 through 5. That's a very, very tall task to do. So I just feel like those type of guys should get some more love when it comes to the Defensive Player of the Year conversations. But I can't take anything away from Gobert. I mean, he's pretty much like, he's not solely the reason, but he's pretty big reason why the Jazz are who they are defensively. So I'll give him credit. Conley Towns, I threw him on the team. He's too talented. He's already one of the best shooting bigs of all time. And you can check the numbers. He just is like, stats-wise, he's one of the best shooting big men of all time. Like, and he was already a force on the block. Pick and pop, pick and roll. Obviously, I already mentioned the 3-game. He's been great. He's been great this year. I mean, the Wolves have taken the next step. Anthony Edwards, who I actually really wanted to put on this team, like really badly, but he kind of slowed down towards like, you know, midway. And honestly, it wasn't even about that. It's just the fact that there's so many guys in the league. He's gonna get his shine. He's probably gonna get his All-Star year next year, most likely. But he's had a great year too. D'Angelo Russell. It's been like really cool to see him, you know, come back and play on the biggest stage, because this stage was meant for someone like D'Angelo Russell. Someone's gonna come in. He's gonna knock down a couple shots, really create off the dribble. A very willing passer. I think honestly, probably the most underrated passer in the league. That's what drove his draft stock through the roof at Ohio State. Wasn't the fact that he could just shoot the ball and create off the dribble and score in an abundance of ways, but the fact that he was a very willing passer, a very gifted passer too. So I think the Wolves have something they're brewing too. Just like I had mentioned about the Cavs and Memphis. Yeah, so I put Karl-Anthony Towns on there. Next, DeJounte Murray. Now, DeJounte Murray, it's crazy his path to now, or his path from when he got drafted to now. First off, he came in rookie year. He's playing with Kawhi and Popovich, playing with all these guys. He gets named to I don't know if it was rookie or his second year. It might have been his second year. Gets named to an all-defensive second team with the NBA's best perimeter defenders like Jimmy Butler, Draymond, and he's on that all-defensive team at that age. So he was already showing the signs from the jump. I mean, this was a dude that was a one and done from Washington. It wasn't one of those one and dones where like people thought he should have gone back to Washington. It was like, no, he's maybe he's not 100% ready for the NBA, but he's ready for the NBA. You know, obviously his body-wise, his mass, you know, no one's body's ever ready for the NBA unless you're like, I don't even know, I can't even say LeBron a Greek freak because they came into the league, you know, small too. But yeah, shout out to DeJounte. He's making the triple-double cool again too, and he plays defense. So he's long.
This is really what I try to do, like third quarter, fourth quarter, always have that pace, always press.
Long wingspan, he'll get in your grill. His intermediate game has improved, his 3 games improved. It's been good to see him evolve as a leader, someone that's asserting himself as the person in San Antonio. Something that San Antonio had lacked past couple years. I know they had DeMar DeRozan come in and fill that Batman role after the Kawhi swap, but we all knew that DeMar's timeline in San Antonio was not the same as, you know, guys like DeJounte and Keldon Johnson and Derek White and all these other guys. So I put DeJounte on the team. I think he's playing great basketball right now. I think he deserves that. He's come a long way. People forget he tore his ACL, I think, a couple years ago. So he's been great. He's been really great. And then lastly, I gave this person, and I know I might get some slack for it, but you know, it is what it is. That's what makes these discussions and conversations so, like, you know, so great, especially this time of year, All-Star Weekend, because, you know, it's all about who you got on your team, who I got on my team, why this person, why that. But I had Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis, at the end of the day, people got to understand this is an all-star game. It's not just who have been the top, I shouldn't say top 20, 25, because that's really what it is. It's the top 25 players. But you can't tell me you're going to have 25 players from the NBA Association and not have Anthony Davis in the All-Star game if he's healthy. That doesn't make any sense. I don't care what year he's having. I don't care if he's averaging like 18 and 10. He still has to make that team. He's going to get in regardless of votes. But he just brings too much to the table. He has way too many tools in his toolbox. I know his middy's not hitting, his three ball's not hitting, but the craziest part is that his numbers are still like 20 and 10, efficient numbers from the field. Though he's very inefficient, basically from anywhere outside of like 12 feet. He's just been dreadful. But it's Anthony Davis. He has to make the team. It's not like the Lakers aren't in playoff contention. They're still in playoff contention. When LeBron was out, Anthony Davis and Russell were the ones that were keeping the fort together. Though they were struggling here and there, they were the ones that were keeping the lights on. So for that, I have to give him credit. So I put him on the team. And who did I have? There was some Dame stock. Anthony Edwards, obviously. Andrew Wiggins is getting a lot of votes too. Shout out to Wiggins. He's to me, I mean, I think we all know he's not an all-star, but the way he's played this year, he's playing his role at an all-star level, if that makes sense. Because there's a lot of guys in Golden State that are balling. You have Steph over there that's balling. You got Draymond that's having a defensive. He's probably gonna get Defensive Player of the Year if he comes back and maintains this level of play on that side of the floor. He's been great this year, and since he's been hurt, the Warriors have been basura. They've been trash. They've been losing games. He's a big part of that, obviously. Jordan Poole has been hooping this year too. I know he's obviously had to adjust to Clay coming back and whatnot, but it was very, very, very important that we acknowledge those things, just because Andrew Wiggins, we know he's not an all-star player. He's an all-star talent for sure. I can never say he'll never be an all-star. I actually think he's an all-star talent. He can basically score from all three levels. He's a great defender, great wing defender. He's probably the Warriors' best wing defender, if you really think about it. You could say Draymond, and I'll respect it, but when you're talking wings, you're talking a guy who can move at the same speed. It was a game I saw last year. It was the Wizards versus Golden State at Chase, and Wiggins was really giving Bradley Beal a lot of trouble. I think the Wizards end up winning that game, but the job that he did on Bradley Beal was very, 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 very. It was very breathtaking. I was watching. I was like, wow, this guy's actually man, this is Bradley Beal. This is one of the best scorers in the league. Period. He's one of the best scorers on the planet. Forget the league. Period. This boy is, like I said it earlier. I said he back-to-back 30 balls, 2020, 2021, averaging 30 easy. And Andrew Wiggins was really locking him up. So that's when it hit me, and I was like, man, Wiggins, it's good for him. He's literally a better version of what Harrison Barnes brings to the table. He's a better bucket. He's arguably, I would say he's a better shooter. Just because I just think his scoring I think it's just a tier above than Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes don't take anything away from him. He's still a champ, great contributing, piece. But Andrew Wiggins was, this athletic freak. I just think that it's very important that he gets his love, he gets his respect, because he's come a long way. People are slandering his name, and it's important. Ladies and gents, that is a wrap. Crazy. I never thought I'd imagine saying that. And now that the director's cut. You know what I'm saying? One take. But as a close on episode 1, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone that's watching and tuned in, if you made to this point, I love you. I really do. Because that was a lot. That was a lot. But expression's not on my face, but I'm really happy. I'm really happy. I just this podcast platform era, it's been going on for a while. I know I mentioned, when the show began that I should, I regretted not, starting out doing this, doing that, like doing the pod earlier. But at the same time, it's like I love that we live in a generation where everyone feels entitled to voice their opinion, which you should, 100%. You should not bite your tongue for nobody. No one. Literally no one. Don't bite your tongue for nobody. If whatever you have to say is coming off in a respectful manner, then don't bite your tongue. But anyways, like I said, I love where, I love that everyone has the confidence now to, get on a platform and, just speak on what they love, speak on what they care about, speak about their passions. There's a lot of people out here that, they don't get to do what they love. A lot of people that, come into this life and they look back and they're like, wow, when I was 20, I should have been doing this. When I was 30, I should have done this. And that's kind of that's the big thing I'm trying to take away from doing this is like, people come from different backgrounds, different areas. My parents came from Uganda. I have friends that, and not all of them, but I have a decent chunk of friends that have, parents that immigrated from elsewhere, whether it's Haiti or Ghana or Nigeria or Jamaica or wherever, so it's just important, just as us as people, just to realize that we're not all cut from the same cloth. We all have our different paths and different backgrounds. I honestly didn't even mean for it to get this deep. I promise you. I probably I won't make shit this deep ever again. But anyways, main point is, bro, like, if you got something that you love to do, go and do that shit. Because no one else is gonna do that shit for you. No one's gonna live this life for you. So you might as well just live that life for yourself. You know what I mean? And it don't matter what you want to be. You want to be the best politician in the world? Go be the best politician in the world, bro. You want to go be the best janitor in the world? Go be the best janitor in the world. If you want to go be the best scammer in the world, go be the best scammer, bro. You feel me? But just make sure you're doing that shit with 1,000%. I'm not trying to act all cheesy, corny, and cliche, but that's really what it comes down to. I feel like it's all about making your days count. You know what I'm saying? Making those days count. Each one. Each and every one. But like I said, episode 1. We did it. Finished. Slaps. We can finish line. But before I close this out, I just thought it'd be, since I'm getting all deep and shit, my soft ass, but I just thought that it'd be important to shout out all the people that have contributed to the product that's in front of you, me. There's a lot of people, a lot of great people that have come into my life, a lot of bad people that come into my life, just like anyone else. But I just think that it's very important that you never know when you're going to have your last conversation, your last lunch, your last date, your last shift, your last ride, anything. You don't know when your last experience is with anyone on this planet. You never know when your last one is. It could all be gone tomorrow. Just like that, it could all be gone tomorrow. So no, I just wanted to, I'm just grateful just to be alive. I'm breathing. Family's healthy. I know everything's been, kind of crazy with the COVID stuff. It's really crazy. But yeah, I'm dazing again. I'm just soaking it in that I just kind of taped this episode. And it's not even really a big deal in terms of like, I'm not over here acting like my shit's about to go #1. I'm about to be on all the podcast charts. I'm about to do a mil view a day or some shit. Nah, I'm not even saying that. It's just like, for those that really do know me, I'm actually a shy person. I like to goof off and laugh and do all this stuff, but like I'm actually a very shy person. Like if I don't know you, I won't come up to you and just be hello. Unless you bring up basketball. You bring up basketball, then maybe, you know, I might open up a little bit, but for the most part, I'm shy. So just me being on this platform, just talking to an audience, using this, you know, wonderful platform to articulate about the game I grew up loving, the game I still love, the game my fucking parents love, the game my brother loves, the game my cousins love, the game, you know, that a lot of people love. So nah, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful, man. And I promise this shit will never get this deep. I'll never take this long to say goodbye ever again. I'll just say, alright guys, episode 2's done. Just clip it, you know what I mean? But before I go, I just want to give a lot of shout outs. Shout out to, you know, obviously my parents. Love y'all. You know, y'all do what y'all do. My brother Elijah, point guard on the brick boys basketball team. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? My brother's playing high school basketball. You know what I'm saying? He's him. He's him. I try to tell him this all the time. Like, you're really him. And you don't listen. You know, shout out to my brother. You know what I'm saying? I love him to death. Obviously, I love the man, the player, you know, the brother, the young man he's turning out to be. Can't believe I'm saying this cheesy shit over camera. But anyways, shout out to him. Shout out to Bree, Brenda, Sophie, my sisters. Love y'all to death. I don't know what I would do without y'all. Shout out to Nike 194, Sunday Road, Somerville. Hope y'all seeing this. I really do. I really hope y'all seeing this. There's too many people in there to name, but you know, every time I walk in there, it's all love. It's always love. It's always been love. So shout out to them. Shout out to Piff Pals, you know, Grins, Kai, Eddie, Jake, Mike. I've had, I don't even know how many arguments, debates with them. You know, I might have lost a couple brain cells from some of the stuff they say. But believe it or not, they've actually contributed to who I am today too as a journalist. You know, they make me like think about the game. You know what I'm saying? And in college, I had to learn how to really think and articulate and kind of just be able to put one piece to another and put it together. They didn't notice it. They don't, because a lot of times we were arguing. It was just over stupid stuff. But you know, it was just building blocks. You know what I mean? So shout out to them. Shout out. And I promise, like, I didn't even plan to do this, honestly, and this is not like a Grammy speech, but I don't want to put this up and then I shout at a couple people and be like, oh, you're shouting me out, blah, blah, blah. Nah, fuck all that. Shout out Rod, my brother. You know, he just got home. You know, proud of the man you becoming too. You push me every day and everything. Shout out Link Vetty. I don't tell him this every day, but not even like I look up to him, because and when he watches this and I say that I look up to him, he's gonna be like, yeah, that's why you're my son. You know, so that's just a joke we have back and forth, my son, my nephew, all this stuff. But that's my G, and I actually, as a man, I have so much respect for him, because he don't take BS from nobody, and he does right by his family, and he knows what he wants in this life, you know, and he attacks it 1,000%. So shout out to him. Obviously, shout out Adrian, shout out Kester, shout out Chase. We need y'all on the show. We need to talk. I keep tell y'all, man, we need to talk. So shout out to them. Shout out to Dre, Hugo, Smy, Jay, She, whole gang, man, all the Merrimack G's. Came a long way. You know what I'm saying? We're still pushing. We're getting old, though. I keep trying to tell y'all that we're getting old. But shout out to them. Shout out to them, my G's. Shout out Sands, boy Sands, Jonathan Sands. Shout out Brendan Buthelette, Brad Fisher. those are like my G's from way back. They see me like when I was dusty, like back when we were really kids, you know, like, oh my God, I'm just laughing just because like I'm picturing myself in high school and stuff, and it's like why, like why? But it's just something to laugh about. But now, shout out to them. Shout out to P, James, Ka. I hope they see this because they actually do mean a lot to me. 3 genuine friends of mine. I know we don't talk every day, but you know, I still care about you guys. I know you guys are busy being good wives to your boyfriends and stuff. So, you know, I love that. I love that for you guys. I'm happy for you guys. I'm over here saying this like they're about to get married tomorrow, but no, I just have a lot of people in my life that are just doing great things. And it's just like it's crazy. It's just crazy. This life stuff is crazy. You just really just get up and you go about your day and you come home and you rant about it, and then you wake up and you do the same thing. It's really crazy. But I decided to give all those people my flowers just because a lot of those people have seen me grow up. They just, you know, they've been there for me. You know, they've been there for me at, you know, at my worst, at my best, obviously. So I just want to give them their flowers because tomorrow's not promised. I already told y'all that. So, you know, just tell someone you love that you care about them. You don't gotta tell them you love them. If you don't want to be cheesy, it's okay. You can just tell them you care about them. Make it easier. I know some people trip with the word love, so just, you know, just tell them you care about them. Simple. That's all. So that's that. That's episode 1. That's a wrap. Shout out my boy Ace. Where's Ace from Nike? He's really the one that helped me put this shit together. Not exactly helped me, but he guided me. You know what I'm saying? I tell him this every day. I tell him he's him. All the time at work, I tell him, you're him. Like, you're really him. You're really doing this. Y'all gotta follow him on TikTok. And I'll drop his ad name in the bio too. Y'all gotta subscribe to his channel too. He's doing a lot of good stuff, a lot of funny stuff. So shout out to him. He really gave me the confidence to even get on this damn screen and do this shit. JD too. Shout out JD So Real. He's doing his thing on the Twitch stream. I'll drop that too in my bio too, just to give him some shout outs. And lastly, shout out my boy Ty. I ain't forget about you. Got a baby Rico. Boy can rap. You know what I'm saying? Boy can rap. I think one of his songs played while I was doing this. But nah, those three dudes, man, like sometimes you lack self-confidence with what you want to do in life. I always like had confidence in myself, but there's a difference between confidence, self-confidence, and then like self-confidence not giving a fuck. They gave me the don't give a fuck part. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm seeing what they're doing in their lives, and I commend that. I commend anyone, not just any man, woman, boy, girl. If you got something you want to do in this life and you give it 1,000% and you go and you do that shit, more power to you. For me, my hat is off to you. You know what I'm saying? So now, shout out to all those people. I got a lot of beautiful people in my life. I got a lot of beautiful people in my life that I didn't even name. And I know I'm probably gonna get my butt kicked for it, but whatever. I might just text them later or something. But that's a wrap. Episode 1 is done. I don't know what we're gonna do for 2, but I do know we'll be back. Or I'll be back. I don't know if you'll be back, but I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? I will be back here. So thanks everyone for tuning in. That is the 2022 NBA All-Star roster by me only. Thanks for tuning in. Anyone that's been supporting me behind closed doors, I really do appreciate it. I've been writing for a while now. I know I said that earlier, but shout out to everyone that's just have my back, supporting me. There's a lot of motherfuckers in the world that really fake root for you just to see where you go so they can be along for the ride. and I actually don't like that shit because I think it's non-authentic, it's non-genuine, and I like to think myself as a fairly genuine person. So I don't do that fake shit. I really don't. But yeah, man, it's a wrap. Like, get off my screen.